Hello and welcome to Gardenpremiere course. This course is part of our knowledge base, which is a part of Gardenpremiere company, which is a multi-service company providing internet portfolio management services and also technology and innovation consultations. So let's get started. About me, I'm the one introducing the course. My name is Wahib Timolali. I'm an industrial engineer, author, serial entrepreneur, and the first Moroccan to win an international competition sponsored by S&P Global and shared in many local and international media outlets. Well, let's get started by an overview of this course. First of all, I prefer to call this e-learning rather than course, but I use course to simplify words for beginners. So for the overview, we're going to talk about human psychology, we're going to talk about consumer behavior, research and development, supply chain and branding, business, technology, futurism, and we have some bonuses, of course. So for the first part of this course is going to talk about human psychology and persuasion. The title is Mankind. This photo is from my home country, which as I'm proud of it, very proud of my country, and everyone I think should be very proud of his country. So this is between brackets. We're going to talk about human psychology because in business or in general life, we need to understand the way people think. This is the main first key to influence and persuade them. Moreover, understanding these aspects can enable us the power to sell anything to anyone. And the best thing about this is you don't need to be a psychologist to understand human behavior. Many people think that you should be a psychologist to understand human behavior, which is a wrong notion to know. So, for the first part of this module, we're going to talk about the three modes of thinking. The first mode of thinking is kinesthetic thinking, which is using the touch sense. The second part is auditory thinking, which is hearing sense, and the last part is visual thinking, which is using the eyesight. So for the visual thinking, the majority of people are usually visual thinkers in that they usually remember what something looked like. They remember the scene clearly, the colors, the textures, the brightness or darkness. When they are presented with the material to decide upon, they often need something to see because visual input is directly linked to decision making. Many times, a visual thinker will make a decision based on what is visually appealing to him, regardless of what is really better for him. So for the visual thinkers, they're using eyesight for the thinking. The modalities to influence visual thinkers. Well, what I mean by modalities to influence visual thinkers is like characteristics or methods to influence visual thinkers and probably persuade them for the decision. The first modality is light. Maybe you can influence them by size, large or small, colors, black, blue, red, movement, fast or slow, and also focus like clear or foggy. So let's look to our first example. As you can clearly see here, it's an advertisement for the Tabasco ketchup, or sauce. So, if you can tell me which the number 1 and 2 and 3, they indicate what? Which is the first modality that you can see through this image? So, the first thing that you clearly see and attract your eyes in this image is obviously the color red. Then, the extinguisher hand, then the text. So this comes in order. You are attracted to color first, then maybe an object in the image, then the text. And this is how visual thinking works. The second part of thinking is kinesthetic thinking. Kinesthetic thinkers are concerned with feelings and touch. They remember how an event made them feel the warmth of the room, the beautiful breeze on their skin, how the movie made them jump through the seat with fear. Often, kinesthetic thinkers feel things with their hands to get the sense of the object. So the kinesthetic thinkers, they use the hand for sensing the object. Modalities influence kinesthetic thinkers. We have the intensity. We can influence them by area, large or small, texture, rough or smooth, temperature, hot or cold, and maybe we can influence them by weight, heavy or light. So let's look at an example for the kinesthetic thinkers. We have the iPhone, or this is like the iPhone, first iPhone that appeared. Maybe it's not the same model, but I think you get the idea. So how did iPhone change the game? iPhone changed the game by removing the keyboard. Like phones previously had keyboards, like the BlackBerry phone and Nokia phone, etc. So they removed the keyboard and they replaced it with the multi-touch keyboard. Then they removed many buttons and they replaced it with small buttons like home button and return button. And this is how Apple actually influenced buyers by removing the keyboard and integrating multi-touch screen. So they use visual thinking influencing tactic to penetrate the market. So now let's move to the third mode of thinking, which is the auditory thinking. Auditory thinkers remember the sound of an event. They remember that the alarm was too loud or the woman whispered too low. They recall the sweetness of the child's voice or the scary bark of the dog. Auditory people learn better from what they hear. So they use the hearing sense. Modalities influence auditory thinkers. You can influence them by volume, maybe loud or soft. You can influence them by tone, maybe bass or treble, a pitch high or low, tempo fast or slow, distance near or far. So this is an example of auditory thinking. This is taken by the famous Volvo truck advertising that you obviously know. I think you know this advertising. And you can search on it in YouTube by typing Volvo truck ad and the Jean-Claude Van Damme keyword. So let's listen to this piece of music and let me know what you think. So as you can clearly see, they use slow tempo, slow speed, and they actually targeted visual thinkers and also the auditory thinkers through this beautiful music. It's actually it's Enya, I think. The singer is called Enya, who made this beautiful piece of music. So this is it for this module, and see you in the next one.